Hello Volvo enthusiasts, welcome to a new how-to video from Nordicar. In this video we'll show you how to replace the water pump of your B18 or B20 engine. The B18 and B20 are used in the Volvo 544, Amazon, P1800, 140 and even in the early 240 series. It might seem complicated if you've never done this before, but after watching this video you should be able to easily do it yourself. How to make sure you have the right engine in front of you? Well, if you have a B18 or B20, it will be marked on the left side of the engine block as seen from the driver's position. It will be marked B20 at the front of the engine block or B18 at the back of the engine block. What's the function of the water pump? The water pump pumps coolant through the cooling system, keeping the engine cool and allowing the heater to give off heat. How do you know if it's time to replace the water pump? The water pump can make a grinding noise or it can leak. If the water pump breaks down, the engine will overheat and permanent damage to the engine may occur. What do we need? A new water pump, 5/8 inch wrench, 1/2 inch wrench, a screw clamp, acid-free white Vaseline, a gasket scraper, and some grinding paper. Step 1. Draining the coolant. The drain valve is found on the right side of the engine block as seen from the driver's position. We turn on the drain valve and we'll catch the coolant in the container. In the case that your engine doesn't have a drain valve, you can disassemble the lower radiator hose. Step 2. Disassembly. First, we're going to remove the drive belt. We'll do this by loosening the alternator a bit. We'll use a 1/2 inch wrench for the alternator tensioner and a 5/8 inch wrench for the main bolt. We're now able to remove the drive belt and we can take off the fan and the pulley with a 1/2 inch wrench. After that, we'll remove the bolts from the water pump with a 1/2 inch wrench. We'll also disassemble both water pipes. Now that we've removed all the bolts, we can easily tap the water pump off the block. Step 3. Cleaning. Before we're going to mount a new water pump, we'll have to clean the engine block. We'll also take care of the water pipe ring. We'll use a gasket scraper to clean the engine block. If you find that the engine block is very dirty, you can use some grinding paper. Step 4. Replacing the water pump. Now that we've disassembled everything and cleaned the engine block, we can mount the new water pump. The kit contains a new water pump and corresponding gaskets. We'll start off by greasing the two high water pump rings with acid-free white Vaseline and we'll manually press them into the top of the water pump. We'll also grease the edges of the water pump rings with Vaseline. Next, we'll place one bolt in the water pump and we'll hang the gasket on the bolt. Place the water pump back on the block with one bolt. Don't tighten the bolt too hard, as the gasket is otherwise not able to rotate, which may cause the gasket to break. We're now going to press the upper two water pump rings into the water pump with a screw clamp. Make sure that the other bolts are ready for assembly and that they are within reach. We'll now place the screw clamp under the water pump and on top of the engine block. We'll turn the screw clamp and we can see that the two rings are pressed into the water pump. After that, we'll mount the other two bolts on the right side of the water pump. We're now going to grease the water pipe ring and the hole in which the water pipe will be placed. We'll then mount the water pipe onto the water pump. We'll place the copper ring between the water pump and the water pipe and we'll mount the bolt. After that, we'll tighten all the bolts and we'll remove the screw clamp. That done, we're going to mount the other water pipe. Again, we'll first grease the water pipe seal ring and we'll mount the water pipe onto the water pump. Slide the water pipe into the water pump and secure the water pipe with a bolt. Now it's time to mount the pulley with the fan. After that, we'll mount the drive belt. Before doing this, we'll make sure the drive belt does not have any cracks or other peculiarities. First, we'll turn the drive belt around the crankshaft, then the alternator, and lastly around the water pump. Next, we'll tension the drive belt and tighten all the bolts. We're now done replacing the water pump. Don't forget to refill and bleed the cooling system. This is the end of this video. We would like to thank you for watching and wish you success with replacing the water pump of your Volvo engine. If you want to see more videos about repairs to classic Volvo cars, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel.